I can't hear what you're saying. I don't know whether my connection is bad. Uh, I think let me join once again. I think my connection. I can't hear you.
Hello, now I'm audible. Am I hope. Please tell me if I'm audible. Quickly. जल्दी से बोल दो मैं audible हूं क्या? Okay, great. Thank you. So what I was saying was, Jijo Abhi, he has got out of the center, and GB and Shivku will be joining us soon, hopefully. So here's the first impression from Jijo. Yes, Jijo, please.
I can't hear you, Sachin.
You can still not hear me?
Problem मेरे इन पे
ओके नहीं आई एम ऑडिबल टू द स्टूडेंट्स कोई बात नहीं सो मैंने जो जीजो से गैदर किया है टिल द टाइम जीजो से सम कैन हियर इट जीजो ने बोला लास्ट ईयर जैसा पैटर्न था द पैटर्न एंड लेवल ऑफ डिफिकल्टी seems to be similar. Jijo, can you hear me?
So am I audible? I think
Yes.
I can start from there.
Yes.
I'm in a car, so I'm not driving, so I can speak. Okay, great. So the first impression of this particular test, as I see, so if I start with the VRC section, I mean, you had the structure of all the type of BA question coming in, two each. That was number one. So you've got two the sentence placement, two paragraph jumble, two hot sentence, two paragraph summary. And of the like last year, the questions came jumbled. It was not like RC first. So that was one. If I kind of look at VA itself, I don't think that the VA completely paint anyone. So anyone who kind of missed VA would have missed this particular test. The VA was very, at least my sense was, it was not very painful. You obviously would have trouble here and there, but in general, it was crackable. So, and when I look at reading comprehension, the passages may be a little dense, okay, but in terms of topics and in terms of each one of these particular passages had a very strong point of view of the author, whether it was author talking about complex systems or there's a passage on insanity and about connection between physicians and lawyers, or if the passage was on I think that every passage was there. I think what I found interesting this time is the type of questions. I think that every single passage had questions on central sort of idea. So more or less in different versions. And you had a few of the usual questions, assumptions question, I think strengthen questions, all that typical kind of questions you could see. So I think the question was, there was no kind of question which you have seen before. The options, what's interesting is some of the options were really long. I think at least I felt that there are some options which are 2 sentences, which I've never seen before. So what that allowed was to kind of give lot many opportunity to eliminate. I don't think that for many of the questions, I don't think the option really paid. And most of the questions revolved around the key ideas of the particular passage. You really did not have to go back and hunt up maybe barring about 2 to 3 questions. So it eventually boiled down to whether you understood the passage. So I believe that in terms of comparison to last year, at least this particular slot, I felt that it didn't pay much as last year. It would be at best last year's, let's say any of the slots were pick up. Personally, this is my take. Personally, I'm sure that the rest of the faculty members may have a different take about it. At least in my sense, what I had with the VRC is that at least if I look at only this slot, the 99 percentile will be very similar to last year or maybe slightly higher. Is sort of my
Okay.
sense. When I went to
This is
DLR,
this
I
is the
mean,
first information
it was
coming
not
in.
painful, but I don't know, it was not as cool as last year. At least that's what I felt. A lot of heavy duty work had to be done in most of the set. You had to crack not many stuff to get the answer. So that was sort of one issue. And I think that one data set I couldn't even read only properly. There was India's color and US color looked very same. Uh, so
Was it the spider graph you're talking about?
so I, I don't know who I'm speaking, whether I'm audible, Cecile. At least I can't
You are
hear
audible.
what you say.
You are audible. Yeah.
So DLR may not be at least as easy as last year, but it's not very difficult than the earlier years. So some of the people would have probably taken DLR can sense first. It may not be as high as last year, probably slightly less than last year is my initial take. But there were sets that can be solved. It was but you have to do a little bit of work. It was lot. There was a few sets where you had single questions, but it was kind of manageable. When it comes to the quant, surprisingly, I did not find too many geometry questions. I think I found one coordinate geometry and couple of them. Coordinate geometry on parallelogram, one in terms of what room was in there. But I felt that I saw a lot of number-based questions, either with respect to this one. So you had to work with lot many concepts of numbers. So it's not a standard kind of number-based question, but you have a lot of numbers and permutations, combination type of questions. A lot of integer-based solution was required. A lot many questions had that concept revolving around numbers. So that's at least my sense of the particular paper. But I also felt that at least arithmetic algebra question, it was not a straightforward one, but still it was reasonably straightforward for someone who's conceptually clear. I don't think the question deliberately pained someone. So it's very, very likely to be like sort of last year. This is my first take. Obviously, after discussing with the rest of them, we'll probably understand. I don't know what you guys are saying. So let me actually have a look.
So while what Jijo is saying,
So where is it?
backend GB and Shivku might just have come
Medium
out and
DLR.
they are on the call with GP, right?
I'm guessing that these you guys would be slot 2 and slot 3, no? But listen, this is what I will tell you is that as much as I'm saying, I'm sharing whatever I feel, right? But I think this is my advice to anyone hitting slot 2 or slot 3. Right now is that keep it very, very chill. And at the end of the day, remember that it's about the question that you see on the screen. As far as VRC, read the passage carefully, properly, pick up the key ideas. You'll be able to proper the question. Don't miss out on the VA questions. If the slot number 2 anyway, like the slot number 1, and you had do the usual that you do with respect to QA and sort of DLR. There were a lot of questions on the topic that you're not comfortable. There was some easy stuff that is available to you, so don't miss out on anything. So I think that at the end of the day, I don't think that you should worry. Absolutely. See, if you've taken the CDC Pro mocks and you've taken everything, I think that you've been exposed to quite a lot of things already. So I'm sure that this would be something that would be fine. I think at least in my sense, that it's a usual sort of thing. That's one my take, Sasir.
Okay. So there is so let's talk about DILR a bit, because what I'm hearing and what I'm getting on my messages also, and what I heard from Jijo is taps ka ek set tha, number of taps. So 5 people talking with 2 taps, 3 taps, and so on. That was a pretty doable set. एक turns एक circular arrangement वाला था जो थोड़ा सा crazy था. Was the Jijo's word was crazy, right? So
I'll just quickly.
GP is here. Yeah.
आपको तो वॉल्यूम कम करना है. नहीं तो एको
Some issue with my line. I
Yes,
can't hear.
GP.
So let me just go.
Sadil, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, ठीक है, perfect. अरे गौतम, ये जीजो कहाँ गया?
जीजो सुन नहीं पा रहा है, वो बोल के चला गया. So he said what he wanted to, but he can't hear us. So that is a problem.
nahi, Salil, are you there? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I'm there. Can you hear me? So Jijo couldn't hear us, so he left.
Overall, have become much more difficult as compared to last year, which means if you have done 2 to 3 sets, you have done a terrific job of the paper. Okay, which also means ki the 99 percentile in Q and DILR is likely to go down to 25-26 also. But ये first cut है. But ये तो है, गौतम कह रहा है कि अगर 2 से 3 सेट या शिवकू कह रहा है that about 2 to 3 sets is terrific. That means it is a very very difficult paper. ये last year का एकदम उल्टा हो गया. CAT 23 to 24 जो हुआ था, the reverse has happened now. Similarly, if you look at Quant questions, some of the questions were not difficult, but you had to hunt for those easy questions. Secondly, जो Quant के अंदर दूसरी एक और चीज आ रही थी, the questions were making you work hard. So when it comes to Quant, last year again, it is going to become a little more difficult as compared to last year. If you have done something like 10 odd questions in Quant, you have done a good job. 12-13 questions are outstanding performance in the paper. That's the feedback from Gautam and Shivku. There will be one of them will be joining abhi, but tab tak ye leke chal sakte ho. And which means if I look at the whole, yeah, Salil.
I'm saying that unnecessarily painful कोई भी section नहीं लगा है जिस तरह discuss हुआ है. Am I right?
नहीं, that's not what I'm saying. That verbal was not verbal. If you look at it, there were good and part to it. If you look at verbal, the passages were difficult to read, but you go to the option, the बहुत आसान है.
Very easy to solve. Yes.
Yeah. So if you get जो what Gautam कह रहा था, passage पढ़ते हुए तुम्हारे को tension हो गई, you get scared of the passage, then you will not go to the question, you lose out. Okay.
So उसी पे जीजो ने ये बोला.
हाँ.
उसी पे जीजो ने ये बोला था exactly the same thing कि अगर पैसेज समझ में आ गया तो questions are easy breeze.
हाँ, but वो ये कि कितने लोग पैसेज आधे में छोड़ देंगे. ठीक है.
Right.
So even Gautam was saying the same thing, that the choices were easy. Central idea के around था. So if you had a broad understanding of the passage, you would get 3 out of 4 questions right. Verbal में 6 out of 8 questions were doable at least, if not more. You're saying even 7 हो सकते थे, but to be safe, you could say 6 हो गए, 6 करके 5 भी सही कर लिया आपने. So in verbal, you have got 5 to 15 marks already. So the key thing in this paper, जो जीजो हमेशा बोलता है, boss, please do the verbal definitely. ठीक है. Verbal के 5 सवाल थे और RC पास कम भी समझ आएगा, still you would be able to do well. Okay, great. Jijo is back. I just check one of them to join. Okay, Jijo, I was talking to Gautam and Shivku, and their feedback about Quant was बहुत मुश्किल था. Quant, DILR, sorry, Quant DILR was very difficult, and 2 to 3 sets would be a terrific performance in this paper, which brings us back to CAT 22-23 in terms of DILR. Quant, they said some of the questions were easy. Quant, some of the questions were easy, but overall, if you look at the paper, it was making you put in the effort. मेहनत करा रहा था. And in this paper, as you said, those number वाले prime line के questions थे काफी. उसी तरह से इसमें each of those questions were making you put in extra effort. And attempt of 10-11 would be a good attempt. And if you have done 12, 13, 14, that's a terrific performance as per Shivku. So
I would agree.
Yeah, sorry.
I said I would agree with that. I think that DLR set was not like last year for sure. And
yes, that's what you
QMS, the QMS, there were effort needs to be put. But the question was not because someone is
Now, Jijo, what that means, if I look at this slot, is it appears to be between Quant and DILR. If you get, let's say, 27-20 in each of the each of the 2 sections, Quant and DILR, you are likely to be around 99 percentile in this particular slot, which makes it about 55 marks between the 2. And VARC, I would say about, if you get about 40 odd, 95 would mean something like a 99.5 percentile, which means 99 percentile would be somewhere between 80 and 85, which is what you had also said. The 99 percentile marks should go down vis-a-vis last year.
Yeah, good. I think it will be more or less similar to last year is what I feel, 99%, but they're about. But yeah, that's
so and then, GP, can we quickly take them through the information about the questions and everything in the deck quickly?
Sure. I have to run the show. Okay, let me just go. Okay,
मैंने शेयर कर दिया है. So overall structure जो so पहले तो टीटा क्वेश्चंस बच्चे पूछ रहे थे टीटा क्वेश्चंस का क्या है तो VARC में 4 टीटा क्वेश्चंस so it seems like the para jumbles and the odd one outs are the ones
VARC same. VARC there's
Same.
no change.
right DILR में 5 sets में 11 to 12 टीटा questions and QA में 7 टीटा questions right so
Right,
which is as
right.
expected last year भी 8 थे if I remember right
इसमें ना the only change I will make in this PPT is QA moderate to difficult. Not moderate, it is moderate to difficult for the simple reason कि यार अगर 10-11 सवाल ही हो रहे हैं every question is making you put in that extra effort. यानी 2 extra calculation करवा रहा है, it is making you make those extra cases. That means it is not a moderate paper, it is slightly more difficult. And the number of doable questions, if you have something like 10 questions giving you a 99 percentile, it is not an easy paper, it is a moderate to difficult paper. Okay? So that's the only thing I will say. And to me, the benchmark for this is Sadil CAT 23 paper. To me, this looks like maybe slightly 1 or 2 questions easier than CAT 23.
So GP, 1 second. We are talking about slot 1 here, guys, obviously.
Yes.
Right. So we are not concluding for CAT 25. We are saying the slot 1 seems like, from what the first discussions are, similar to the CAT 23. Yeah, GP.
Yeah. Okay. So when you look at the overall structure, you can. Okay.
So difficulty level more or less like last year as I see it. ज़्यादा different नहीं है, but so I think only DILR is where you say 2020.
DILR has slightly higher number of TETA question is what I can see.
Yes.
Yeah.
So here is the ideal score of the previous years also shared with you on the screens. So you can compare this.
So Sadil, the benchmark for this paper to me seems to be CAT 22. Overall at the 99 percentile level. But when I look at individual section, the क्या कहते हैं benchmark for DILR seems to be CAT 23.
Okay. Right. Okay. ठीक है. So we are coming towards. So I hope GB is able to join soon.
Okay. So more number based questions, straightforward questions had to be hunted. इसमें थोड़ा सा मैं change करवा दूंगा. Straightforward questions were 4-5, but you had to hunt for them. Okay. बाकी ठीक है. I think this is fine. Okay. Yeah. Oh, Gautam आ गया. Okay, finally. ठीक है.
Okay. Hi GB.
Am I audible?
Yes, you are. Go ahead.
Okay, I can't hear you all clearly. Okay, sorry, I'm in the car. Whoever is it, Adarsh, it is a very poorly managed center. My recommendation to all of you all, please try reaching at least 45 minutes to 1 hour before time. We reached at 7:45 for the 8:30 slot. Biometrics and everything were done only by 8:40. And so for the students who had already reached on time, their exam started at 8:30 and you were basically disturbed for the first 15 minutes of VARC when you were trying to understand those passages which were slightly incomprehensible. Difficult RCs, according to me, to read. But if you had the guts and the gumption to spend 6 minutes to read it, very easy options to eliminate. I don't know whether Jijo agrees with that or not, but I think the options really helped you out in VARC. My personal take overall is DILR and Quant, especially DILR reminds me a little of CAT 22, 23. Difficult. There are traps. When you read them, they're easy to do. You enter into those traps and then you are basically in quicksand. So my recommendation is once again, be a little careful when you're looking at the DILR sets. Look at the options. Lot of TETA questions. The 2 5-question sets mein, the first set was completely TETA. The second set had 4 questions TETA. So 9 questions TETA out of 10 in the 5-question sets. So they are not that's not easy automatically because options don't help you. There is no elimination. There is nothing that you can do. So यहाँ तो आपका बनेगा या नहीं बनेगा. It is as simple as that. So not easy at all. Even in the other sets, I think there was a circular arrangement set which made it a little complex, but I think doable. The easiest part is the DI. Now, I hope other slots have a singlet DI. Generally, ये चीज चलती है कि अगर एक singlet DI set एक slot में आया, it will be there in other slots. So please look out for that DI set. It might be a a lifesaver, a game changer. I think that to me was the easiest DI set. Overall, not easy to do, slightly difficult to handle. Quant, again, the absolute sitters were not really visible. I think there were about 4 5 ढूंढने से मिलेंगे. There were 4 5 questions which could have been done. They've, for some reason, complicated even simple questions, even ratio proportion, mixture questions, easy to do but very long. Like, आज एज मेरी ये है, दो लोगों की रेशियो ये है, 21 years के बाद ये हो जाएगी, एंड देन some new people are being added to it in the ratio 5:8. Now what is the sum total of the ratio of the ages? They're just complicating it for no reason. Concept simple सा है but मेहनत बहुत करवा रहा है, and more often than not these questions are TETA questions. So मेहनत भी करवाता है, options भी नहीं use कर सकते हो कुछ करने के लिए. That's where quant becomes a pain. However, I would still say that quant, yeah.
One question. Quant में number systems, I see 4 to 5 questions, which means if the students should not take a chance there, right? So वो करना चाहिए था. कुछ तो easy questions
it
थे.
depends on how you look at number systems. अब वो जो number system वाला question है वो ये है कि समझो I have to make a 3-digit number जहाँ पे only one of the digits can be a perfect square and the other digits have to be even. ऐसा है. Now this is number system. I don't think you need any number system logic there.
So I wanted to make the same point कि number system देख के छोड़ना would be a गलती. Am I
हाँ,
right?
एकदम नहीं.
Absolutely. Yeah.
एकदम भी नहीं. मतलब similarly, I think there was a question on PNC, right? If I'm not, that sandwiches question, Jiju.
Yes.
Very
Yes.
simple.
Yeah.
Simple question on sandwiches. Now, if you say ये permutation combination है नहीं करूँगा, problem है, because these are sitters. Like 1 or 2 of the numbers question, one this PNC which I'm saying are sitters. Now, if you leave these stating मैंने पढ़ा नहीं है तो problem होगी यार. You don't really need knowledge to be able to do this. Common sense will help you. So please be on the lookout, search for them. Don't get stuck in questions.
Now, my feeling was the usual arithmetic pained people, but the non-arithmetic one, there were a lot of questions that was pretty doable without too much of effort. Many of them, but depending upon the concept that you got, that's what I felt. At least my take. Arithmetic was मेहनत करवा रहा था.
हाँ, मेहनत बहुत करवाया यार, मेहनत बहुत करवाया. Even simple geometry questions मेहनत करवाया. There were simple questions पर वो मेहनत करवाया. तो overall मेहनत करवाने वाला पेपर है. मेरे को थोड़ा IFT की याद दिलाता है. IFT के पुराने पेपर्स जो होते थे ना, जहाँ क्वेश्चन सिंपल होता है पर मेहनत करवाता है, थोड़ा उसकी याद दिला रहा था overall. And my personal take now, we're not, I don't want to conjecture into what the percentiles and all could be, but I think this will go back to 22, 23, where it was, I think one year was 76, another year was 82 or 83. उन दोनों के बीच में कहीं रहेगा, because all 3 sections, there is some pain point or the other. Last year, DILR was a huge relief. I don't think there is any relief section in this year's paper.
So it's not tough is what I hear, but it is not a very cakewalk also in none of them, right? So that's it. That is what I hear from what you're saying. Okay.
It depends. The definition of tough पे वो depend करेगा. I would still say DILR to me it's difficult. I don't think it's easy.
Okay. So just before we move on to the next part, a quick reminder to everyone who's watching, there is a in-depth analysis coming up at 12 o'clock. So tune in 12 o'clock, a different video, right? ये impressions है, first impressions है, एक proper solving होगा, analysis होगा on the basis of what we remember, right? So that is what is going to happen at 12 o'clock. So please make sure you are there. Slot 1 guys and slot 3 guys, right?
Gautam, so I have the same center to कह रहे जल्दी पहुंचाऊं मैं.
यहाँ जीपी आई वुड रेकमेंड जल्दी पहुंचो. मैं सबको बोलूंगा जो भी यहाँ आदर्श सेंटर में है, प्लीज गाइज रीड अर्ली, रीच अर्ली. आदर्श परीक्षा केंद्र सेक्टर 64, प्लीज रीच अर्ली. very mismanaged, and please ask the invigilators to shut up if they don't. They were talking for at least 40 minutes out of 120 minutes.
अच्छा.
I remember last year ये मैंने भी किया था, चुप कराया था.
Please ask them to keep quiet.
गौतम, वो हम लोग को करना पड़ता है कि बच्चे डरते हैं करने में. मैं तो बोल देता हूँ.
Correct. I had to do it 4 to 5 times कि क्या हो रहा है. So please. Yeah.
तो गौतम, पहला काम करो, ट्वीट कर दो कि आदर्श परीक्षा केंद्र बहुत बर्बाद है. एटलीस्ट टीसीएस को तो पता चले. ठीक है. And last kids also अपने
they allow you to give feedback. I don't know whether they read or not. Till last year it was always 333 and I used to leave it. This year I've categorically written that poor management, poor invigilation, disturbing elements all over. So I've mentioned it. I don't know whether that will help or not, but yeah.
हाँ, ठीक है.
But students को
चलो.
मैं ये बोलूंगा aspirants को कि please be prepared for these things and don't get affected by it, you know. So that's all I
Yeah.
have. Yeah.
I think I see a couple of questions. Somebody is asking, were there any pure sets in LRDI? There was one set, radar chart plus bar graph का mixture था, combo graphs, and it was a 4-question set. Now that doesn't mean कि आपके slot में भी combo आएगा. I'm guessing Arpan, you are from slot 2 or 3 because you're asking this. कि were there any?
चलो.
It doesn't mean you will get the same, but I think maybe a standalone DI at least आ जाएगा because अगर एक में आया generally हर में आता है.
हाँ,
यार
so
ये एक भाविश पूछ रहा है कि व्हाट इज द आइडियल अटेम्प्ट इन डीएलआर. आइडियल अटेम्प्ट हम लोग एनालिसिस में लेके आएंगे. व्हाट इज अ गुड अटेम्प्ट, व्हाट इज द परसेंटाइल पॉसिबल, वी विल कम एट 12 o'clock. So
हाँ,
right,
and I will log out now because my 2-3 students मेरे को call करने. Let me have a word with them. Okay.
sure.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
think
same here.
fine
I'm
anyway.
about to reach. Catch you all at 12. Bye bye.
I'll also log off.
All right, so guys, see you at 12 o'clock. I think GB, bye bye. Jijo, thank you so much. Have a good day, and we will see you at 12 o'clock, right? So have a good day. 12 afternoon, yes. So every slot, we are going to come exactly half an hour after that. We'll come with the impressions, and after that 1 hour later, we'll come up with the detailed analysis. And at the end of the day, at 9:30 in the evening, we'll have a overall each slot combined analysis. So we have so many sessions. There is an English session analysis. There is a Hindi session. So please make sure you join either, doesn't matter. We are all there. Okay, so see you there. Have a good day.